Welcome back. Well, it was another very wet one today. Flooding rains in the southern portions of Lafayette Parish, portions of Vermilion, Iberia, Upper St. Martin as well. So let's get to the numbers. Got some interesting numbers. Here we are. We're not even halfway through the year, and we've already gotten 43 inches out at the airport, 2.5 officially today at the airport. A lot more farther to the south, as we're going to show you. New Iberia set a record today, 4 3/4 inches of rain, and surrounding spots, I just posted this on social media, surrounding spots pushing 50 inches of rain. And it's not even halfway through the year. Our normal for the entire year is 62 inches. So we're on track for a very wet year unless something changes drastically as we get into July. And unfortunately, our rain chances staying high from the widespread to a very good chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms each and every day. And so there's some nighttime chances, not too many, but we have a chance overnight tonight based on current trends. So this is what we have going on. We have this general weakness and upper level trough in the region that is allowing for thunderstorms to breathe, and when the atmosphere cools aloft at night, the thunderstorms start firing up at times and feeding off of plenty of Gulf moisture. So this pattern's not changing anytime soon, so a good chance of the daily dousings will continue. Now on the radar this afternoon, most of Acadiana actually relatively quiet. The bulk of the heavier rains and storms, a big one here by Conroe north of Houston. This is working its way east-southeast. More activity over by southeast Texas and the Port Arthur area south of Beaumont and Orange. And closer to home, we still have rains moving into southwestern Louisiana. It's been a very soggy day here. They didn't have it what we had this morning, but they've been getting it for a good part of the day today. So let's back it up over the last 12 hours. You can see it was relatively quiet yesterday evening. Then watch right here how thunderstorms fired up in about a half hour to an hour's time, and then they didn't want to move and they pushed off to the east. We could see a similar more isolated event overnight tonight. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but I don't think we're going to see the widespread what we saw last night, which was certainly a surprise. The models have not been doing a good job. They're not getting the upper air data that we need to feed them, so we're getting lots of variability in our forecast. We're going with high rain chances, mostly during the daytime hours, but sometimes they can happen at night as well. And here are the rain totals. You can see along and south of I-10 is really where we got pelted. And all these areas in magenta, you're pushing 7, 8, 9 inches of rain. There was isolated amounts, 9.5 by the UL Cade Farm, also in St. Martinville, and a couple of other spots showing 8, 9 inches of rainfall. And it all comes in about 3 hours. So you're talking rainfall rates 2 to 4 inches per hour, and that will translate to the flooding that we saw. There's nothing we can do about that. That is just summer thunderstorms that sometimes just get happy where they're at. Flood watch, as a result, in effect for a good part of Acadiana, I-10 parishes and St. Landry Parish on southward. Possibility of an additional 3 to 5 inches of rain in spots through tomorrow evening. Not saying it's coming tonight, not saying it's coming tomorrow morning, sometime between now and tomorrow evening. Now, the graph model is quiet overnight tonight, but it was quiet last night. So we'll watch the trends later on tonight, give you an update tonight at 10 for sure after the basketball game. And then for tomorrow, it looks like a scattering of showers and storms during the course of the afternoon into the early evening hours. Some heavy downpours once again. It should quiet down for the evening hours, and I think we're going to get into the pattern where we see mostly daytime activity starting Sunday and going into the days ahead going into next week. But bottom line, pretty good rain chances through Sunday, and here we go into Monday. More scattered storms in the forecast, so your rain chances staying at 70%. As for model estimates, they've been all over the place. You can see generally most of us get a ½ inch to 2 inches of rain through Monday. This is through 1 o'clock, but there's going to be isolated spots 3 to 5 inches or more through Monday, so we'll have to watch out for that and more localized flooding. So quiet so far early this evening. A few showers and storms could redevelop overnight tonight. I'm going to keep rain chance at about 30%, kind of covering our bases there. And then going into tomorrow, hopefully a little bit more sunshine early. Flood watch is in effect. Scattered showers and thunderstorms likely during the afternoon hours. And as we mentioned, localized amounts could be up to 3 to 5. Chance of getting wet still at a very hefty 70%. Nobody needs to water their gardens or lawns, that's for sure. 70% stays with us at least through Tuesday of next week. Mainly daytime activity, and then we will gradually tone down the rain chances, hopefully by next weekend. That means it's just going to get hotter, so enjoy the somewhat below normal temperatures that we continue to see. That's it for weather for now. We'll have more coming up in just a little bit.